and welcome to my 5-minute Vampire the Masquerade plots, where I get to do the best part of creating vampire plots, which is coming up with them without actually having to write it out, make it function, and that kind of things. Right. This week we'll have a Tremere, Setites, and Ravnos. This is going to be interesting. Right. So I've always been much more fond of the Eastern Ravnos, the undead lords of India. Oh, forgot to start the timer. With their caste system and their Indian mythological background, rather than the Western Ravnos with all the problems that concept has. So, one of the coterie, or a few of the coterie, if you want, are Ravnos from India, who've gone abroad on a spiritual journey. They've left India to go to the mystic West and gain enlightenment there. Or they also kind of were kicked out a bit for various dubious things, which you don't need to go into too much detail about. And they've arrived in a city, a European city, standard prince, whatever you prefer, and have immediately been imprisoned by a very anti-Ravnos prince. Maybe they've had some bad experiences with the Western Ravnos recently, and despite all their claims to we're not involved with these people at all, they're immediately imprisoned pending whatever fate the princess comes up with. Now, the prince is probably a bit of an idiot there, but the Tremere Primogen isn't. They realize these are not the Ravnos that we know. These are the Ravnos of India. They're part of an immensely complicated and ancient culture. How can we exploit them? They must have incredible knowledge that we don't possess here. How can we persuade them to part with it? So, but in a deniable way. So some low-ranking Tremere are prodded to try and go free these Ravnos visitors, free them, gain their trust, or at least their gratitude, and pump them for information, and maybe something else later. But keep it deniable. Don't have Clan Tremere officially involved. And yes, if you're captured, we will deny any knowledge of you or your mission. But these Ravnos visitors have also attracted Setite attention. So maybe best to put the town in maybe southern Greece, or maybe even Egypt, quite close to Setite zones of influence. They're attracted by the challenge of corrupting new vampires, new ways of thinking they haven't met, or challenging them at least. This is not like sort of the clans that they've gotten to know. This is a new challenge. This will sort of push them beyond. This will, and if they do succeed, then the corruption could spread back to India conceivably, or maybe they could send their own to India equipped with the knowledge that they will gain. So they're trying to spring them from jail as well. Well, from imprisonment, or whatever the situation there is there. So the prelude is basically the Tremere players and the Setite players meeting up in some sense. Maybe they each tried a plan to get the Ravnos from prison, and because they both tried it simultaneously, they called each other's attempts to fail. And they end up together, they have a common objective, and then eventually they succeed. So now you have the Ravnos players, the Setites, and the Tremere on the run from the prince and his or her minions, trying to corrupt the Ravnos, trying to get information from the Ravnos for the Tremere, and trying to sort of gain enlightenment, maybe a very dark enlightenment, or at least wisdom from the Ravnos perspective. And that's basically then the whole plot. These three dynamics on the run, betraying each other, trusting each other, learning from each other. Thanks.